Is anybody out there? Jesus, LA, we expected a little bit more than that. Come on.
So we're going to sit down right now, and if you guys have any, if you don't, we can all just say goodbye and go. We had this group of 120 plus songs. I know you guys have heard me talk about that already 20 times probably. But we whittled it down and we came to these because we thought that they really represented this crazy journey that we had, which was indeed filled with a lot of conflict. Some you may have read about, some you may never read about. Basically, you heard everything that we have to say and more over the past 2 years. Like that's it. That's us. So I guess if you don't like it, then you're never gonna like it. Anybody have any questions? Where do you go after you go to China and then the Arctic? I mean, you have to come back home, right? That's what we said. I mean, I had another location-based thing, and it just started to feel like a travel catalog, you know? And you know what I mean? It was like, what are we going to do? And I didn't want to take away from the other ones, and it was time for us to really showcase our home and show the beauty of that. And the nice thing about doing this is it showed us a side of LA that we haven't visited so much. It really educated us. It really made us invest a little deeper into our community, and we always have a rule of the experience of making a video has to be as important and rewarding as the result, and that was certainly true in this case. There's this cliche: you never really finish an album, you just abandon it, and it's kind of a trite thing, but it is true. I mean, there are a lot of things that I have not finished on this record, that when I hear it, I'm like, oh, Jesus.
But we're done.
Yeah.
We're done.
I can't announce any shows right now, but I will say one thing. We will play LA this year. You know, we talked about everything from like 80s soundtrack music, which I love. I don't know if there's anybody else in here. Shannon loves as well. And I love, you know, everything from Tangerine Dream to, you know, on and on and on. But we love those vintage synths. And I think on the last record, we kind of explored more strings and things like that. In this record, we brought back electronics and synths, and that was really fun to do.
Personally, my favorite one to listen to is actually L490.
I have to go on record and say that is my favorite thing to listen to, as well as that last piece of music that the Monks come in on. And you know what's interesting is Shannon wrote that song.
Yeah. Thank you.
And he played guitar on that song. Yeah. And I kept annoying him until he finished it. And it is, honest to God, it's one of my favorite pieces of music on the album, and it's a good reminder of the contribution that both of these guys make to the project, and you know how it's always great to have as much as possible from both Tomo and Shannon. We have a very special trifecta here, as it is now. I think that song is a really good example. Somebody asked about a song that encapsulates the record, and I think that's a really good song because you can hear it's something entirely new, and you can hear a bit of the past as well. There's also this collision that Flood and we talked about often, which was from the intimate to the grandiose. And I think the verses are so small and recorded live with one mic, and Shannon's on the drums. It's actually an accident. It's recorded incorrectly. But Flood encouraged us to embrace mistakes and to celebrate that. And I think I always wanted a song that makes people dance for some reason. I hope that makes people dance. They get down and dirty. You know, could you imagine the Echelon just all starts getting down and dirty on the kids in the mosh pit are like confused. Should that be the video? It's like a mosh pit and then it turns into this whole I'm sweating.
Stressful. No, it was really great. We all, after the summit happened, we all were talking about how special and amazing that whole day was. It was when you guys did the low to high for This Is War, when we kind of realized that there was something magical happening.
It's about the American dream and how it's not really the American dream anymore. It's the Western dream. And there's a good and there's a bad with that, you know. The idea that we have a credit card in our pocket or our cell phone or a house that's on lease or a car that doesn't belong to us and that we're going to be happy. The idea that we could be more than that. I think all of us that grew up here in this country, especially my generation, which is like 4 generations above you guys.
How old are you?
46. Grandpa. No. We call each other Grandpa all the time. Benjamin Button here, is that what they say? How does it always turn into a comedy show? It's about that. I mean, we grew up in this, when I grew up, 1774, we really, you know, through our textbooks, through our teaching, we thought that we could be, should be, supposed to be, are now, we're more, we're better than, slightly, this manifest destiny thing. So that really is that song about that. You know, I wrote half of it here, and maybe some of you guys have heard this story, and then I wrote the other half in South Africa. At this place, this place that's been a gift for me. On the last album, Beautiful Life, 4 of the songs were recorded, written, or finished there. So we went back and rented the same house, hoping that we'd get lucky. As soon as we walked in the door, I pulled out the guitar. It wasn't even 10 minutes. And there was a book on lost kings of Africa, this old book about the lost kings of Africa. And I started thinking about like just the potential of all of us, you know, on a very personal level and a broader one. Chicken or the egg? Huh?
I was just going to say that.
Chicken or the egg? You know, a lot of times in this record, the birth of the songs came very, very easily. The death of the songs came much more difficult, and then the resurrection was even more. So,
Well said.
sorry. We're turning into a church in here real quick. But that is the truth, and there is a very religious aspect to this record. It's of the spirit world, and even the new symbol for 30 Seconds to Mars it's one of the oldest symbols on the planet, and it represents air, the spirit world. And I think this record for us, if I think of it oftentimes, the first 3 records as a group, as a triptych or whatever, and this being the final in a chapter of 3. So, you know, the first being a cerebral experience, the second being very guttural, and this being of the spirit. Let me just say this. Thank you all again to the riders who came and participated. Thank you guys to the Echelon. We love you guys. We hope you had fun tonight.
Bye, guys.
And we'll
Thank
see you very, very soon.
Bye.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Love you guys. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you.
Don't forget to get some popcorn and candy on the way out.